round of the Findus TVR Tuscan Challenge. Troy Dunlop won the qualifying heat on Saturday, hence starts to feature in the rain on pole position on Sunday. Alongside him in second position will be Steve Guglielmi. Guglielmi anxious to make the error that saw him lose the lead. Well, these hairy-chested sports cars, of course, much more suited to dry racetracks, just ramp up the drivers' enthusiasm for the start and the crowd for the race. Third placed, Andy Britnell, just beat Darren Dowling for that position in Saturday's. And the crowd may be cold and gloomy at the moment, but when the racing starts, that will all change. Our onboard camera is Giles Cooper. Giles Cooper. He starts in the number 15 machine. They're ready and waiting for the lights. The reds go on. Troy Dunlop leads them away as they go green, trying to control the wheel spin from the 4.5-litre TVR V8. Using, of course, wet weather tyres in these conditions, no chance of opting for slicks, and Steve Guglielmi takes the lead into the first corner. Troy Dunlop in second place, Andy Britnell was in third, and there will be plenty of side-by-side racing, particularly because a lot of the drivers will have no idea where they're going. Very wide line from Troy Dunlop, finding there's not as much traction at Sear as he hoped there might be. Out onto the Revit straight, and somebody's gone even further off. Manages to avoid the fields. Oh, but a spin. That's Gary Cleaver. No damage done. And there's Gary Britnell also spinning as he exits the S's further up the field, but fortunately to the outside, and everybody avoids him. And they will be trying as much as they can to rein in their enthusiasm in the opening lap and keep things under control. Oh, broadside slide there from Steve Guglielmi's teammate Darren Dowling. And Steve Cole in the brand new machine, fully rebuilt after Silverstone, all white this time. He spins out too, and he's trying to reverse back on at Russell just to get a little bit of traction, and further back Gary Britnell spins again, so too does the number 18 of Brian Colwell. Michael Caine, last year's champion, making a guest reappearance in one of the Works TVR cars at the end of the straight, pulling off with his hand up. Let's have a look again at the start as they get ready to go, and look out for Caine. Far starting on the far side in the silver number 12 car, coming through from the back of the field, racing in the British GT Championship this year, of course, but obviously out of this race with problems. On board with Troy Dunlop in second place. Steve Guglielmi leading now half the length of the straight ahead of him, and that must really be galling Troy Dunlop. He won the qualifying race, and now he looks like losing the main event. Further back, the battle for fourth. The checkered nose is Darren Dowling, under pressure from teenager Andrew Delahunty. Delahunty looking down the inside, and Dowling having to defend on the brakes. All big slide as he gets on the power early. Delahunty will look as they come onto the straight shortly. Maybe it's Sear. Oh, he is. He gets inside him. Contact. Luckily, though, no big Silverstone pit wall there on the exit for them. Plenty of concrete and gravel to run off on. Not the tidiest cornering I've ever seen, but they both survive unharmed, and that's the main thing, and they're still fourth and fifth. Michael Caine abandoning the TVR. Troy Dunlop once more into Russell. Now doing a very good job getting the power down, just a hint of wheel spin there, the top revs in second gear. But look at the conditions, they could hardly be worse. Darren Dowling again sliding under pressure from Andrew Delahunty, and really twitchy his car as he tries to keep the number 7 car in fourth place. Andy Britnell in third, some way ahead of this battle, and sixth position some way further back. Young Delahunty can't have done more than about half a dozen races in the Tuscan Championship during the course of last year, but really proving to be one of the young stars. Now here's an interesting scenario. In the yellow and blue car, the Works TVR Tuscan, is Ben Samuelson, the company's PR and press man. Right behind, in the number 8 Works TVR Tuscan, is a man called Peter Wheeler. He's the man that writes Ben's salary check. He's the chairman of the company. So, is Ben under pressure? You bet he is. Down the inside comes Wheeler. They're both late on the brakes, very late. Oh, Peter Wheeler goes by but spins. And so does Ben Samuelson. So Wheeler spins down the inside and off onto the grass. Samuelson spins as well. Well, I'm sure there'll be some light-hearted ribbing in the factory about that. And I think both of them will be the subject of the mechanics further. Now, 29 there, Rod Barrett also spinning in sympathy. No damage done to anyone. Oh, and that's Darren Dowling at the S's. He's gone and out-braked himself. Off he's gone. Andrew Delahunty shot by in the background in 4th place. Darren trying to restart the car, down to 5th, down to 6th. Losing places all the time, and he'll need to get back on the track. He's trying to take the shortcut through here. He'll have very muddy tyres by the time he rejoins. He'll need to be careful at the bomb hole. Well, he was really feeling the pressure from Delahunty earlier, and off he went, and off too goes David Thomas. Unlucky number 13 at Silverstone, and so it seems here again as well. Loses the engine, just about to get going. Oh, and here's the leader. There's Steve Guglielmi, the race leader, squeezing around the outside at Russell. That's Rod Barrett right ahead of him. Guglielmi waving out to the cockpit. He gets out of the way. And Rod Barrett about to be lapped. We saw him spin earlier on, and that's Troy Dunlop right behind. Now, this is very bad news for Guglielmi, but this is a real shot in the arm for Dunlop. The race leader being actively blocked by Rod Barrett. Now looking to the inside as they get to Sia. And Guglielmi takes a tight line. He'll try and get by on the straight, and he's got him, I think. Yes, Rod Barrett on the outside line. Now on board in 2nd place with Troy Dunlop. And a race that a lap ago looked as lost as it had from the start is now wide open. And he's got more speed on the straight. Into the braking area. They're braking much, much earlier than they would normally do in the drive, but of course it is streaming wet, and they're still desperately trying to slow down. And into the second element, Dunlop's got the lead. Unbelievable motor racing fortune, swings in the favour of Troy Dunlop. Blew the start from pole position, lost the race right then on the run into the first corner to Steve Guglielmi, and now he's had it handed back to him. In the midfield, here is Gary Britnell, already a spinner. Behind him, Ben Samuelson, already spun. David Thomas, also already spun. And here is Peter Wheeler, the chairman of TVR, spinning for the 2nd time. Look, the chairman's car has got an automatic opening door for when he needs to bail out in the gravel. How handy. But it's not over yet for Troy Dunlop. The final couple of corners, very defensive line down into Russell. He could still lose it if he overcooks it here. Very squirrely under braking, but he's got it under control. Big slide behind from Steve Guglielmi, but Troy Dunlop gets the drive down, gets the job done, and somewhere up there in the spray, there is the checkered flag. He wins. Guglielmi loses out because of a very bizarre backmarker incident. Well, here is the result then. Dunlop from Guglielmi, then Andy Britnell 3rd from Andrew Delahunty, Giles Cooper and Richard Finney. But are we already starting to see the signs of a pattern? Dunlop and Guglielmi...
Temperatures and quite a race in front.